Hi, this is Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles coming at you with another toy review. This time we're taking a look at the Thundercats Lion-O figure from the original Thundercats toy line from LJN Toys from 1985. So the first thing we'll do is take a closer look at the figure. Alright, so take a look at Lion-O. So obviously this is the flagship character in the Thundercats series. He's the main character in this series. And, overall a good interpretation of this character, based on the toy line. I mean, he wasn't super accurate. I mean, none of these toys were crazy accurate compared to the actual TV show, but they didn't do too bad of a job. So essentially, he came with his Sword of Omens, he came with his claw shield, he came with a little ring that, just like the mumm-ra figure, if you plugged it into the back of him with the battery, it would make his eyes light up. And then depending on which packaging you got, you also got a Snarf Packin' figure or you didn't. They actually had both. And there's actually two versions of this figure. There's actually a red-haired version and an orange-haired version. The orange-haired version is actually the first release they ever released. It was like the first wave they ever did. And it actually had more of an orange hair, as well as his claw shield and his Sword of Omens. Instead of being like more of a red, it was all orange, that same orange. But I don't have a representation of that guy. So this guy was like the second wave of these guys. And then each of these toys had what's kind of called as like a battle-matic action. And basically there's a lever on the back of this guy, and you just, by pushing the lever, you make him swing his sword. And that's pretty much the main feature of this guy, other than having the light-up eyes, which I will show in a second. You could remove his claw shield. You do see in this guy as well, you do see it, there's paint loss. Typically with the figures, like the lighter color paint was painted on, because this is the actual molded figure color of the figure. So that paint would scrape off real easy. Just like Panthro around his beard area, like his face, right by his mouth would scrape off as well. And then this guy did have the light up eyes, where if you plug the thing into the back, his eyes would light up. And mumm-ra has that as well. And I'm actually going to show that in a second, because my review for my mumm-ra figure, the terminals were actually corroded, and I was able to fix that. And then here we have mumm-ra, so we'll do him as well just to show you that he does work and what it would look like, so you see his eyes light up. So pretty cool feature. What I did find is if you're having trouble with your terminals and they are corroded, what you can do is you just use some baking soda and you put water in it to make it a paste, and then just use a toothbrush and rub it on there, and that's what actually brought my guys back to life. So that's all you'd have to do for that little ring. And finally, for size comparison, here we have Lion-O next to mumm-ra and Tigra. Mumm-ra and Lion-O were just bigger figures in the toy line. I don't know if it had something to do with because they need to be bigger because of the light-up features on the inside, but they are overall just bigger. Tigra is a pretty large figure in this toy line, and you can see that Lion-O just towers over him, and then mumm-ra, is bigger than Lion-O. About the same if you were to take the headdress off, but another super iconic figure in this Thundercats toy line. He's very difficult to get in very mint condition. You see a lot of stuff where you'll see paint scraped off his nose. The Sword of Omens, the tip will be all coming apart, and the paint will be coming off. The claw shield scrapes off a ton of the paint on the hand, as well as the hand that the Sword of Omens holds will actually scrape off paint. So you don't see him in like super mint condition. This is actually one of the better ones I've seen. Same thing, you'll see paint scrape off the Thundercat symbol on the belts, and that's like that for all the figures. It's just the way they're all manufactured. But a phenomenal toy line. This is the flagship character. And once again, it's been Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles. Any questions or comments, leave in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time.